Okay, so I hope you enjoy the written solution. I would like to mention if there are any questions, the Q&A we will do in the Hopin platform through booth chat. So ladies will stay a little longer and you can ask any question you have. And we'll just move to another demonstration, but now please welcome to one of our video conferencing room, which is also quite essential for this period, so we are able to connect with our clients when they cannot come. And one of the topics that we discuss with our clients is obviously automation. There's a lot of RPA tools, a lot of automation tools which are existing on the market, but at Accenture we are also creating our own. So Matusz will introduce you one of them.
Thanks, Irai. A little bit about myself first. So my name is Matusz Kovács. I work at Accenture as a software engineer for over 3 years. I started as a student, and after graduating, I joined Accenture full-time, and I am working as a software engineer on .NET platform. For the last 2 years, I was working on Accenture asset called Visual Process Discovery, which I would like to talk about a little bit more today. So Visual Process Discovery, or VPD, is an Accenture solution for the discovery and visualization of employee executive processes as they actually occur at scale. So the VPD was founded when one of our inventors was working for a company. He was building an automation solution, and while they were building the robots, they faced many challenges. So the issue was that they didn't have enough information about the process to automate it properly. There were many exceptions, there were many variants, and this made it very hard to do the automation right. So they thought there's got to be a better way to do this. What we see today in many companies is that in order to stay relevant, they need to adapt and understand their processes very quickly. Whether they want to make a change in their customer's journey, launch a new product or service, run a cost optimization program, or the skills in their organization are changing. All of this requires a continuous overview of what people are doing today and what the processes look like. The challenge here is that usually within the companies, people don't have a clear perception of what the process is. If you would ask a member of the team to walk up to the whiteboard and explain the process, what would often happen is he would show you this very simple looking graph consisting of maybe 5 steps, and he would tell you, hey, look, this is my process. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Then you would ask him, okay, so let's sit behind the computer. Let's show me the process. I want to see how we execute it. And here we are. So by watching him, you would often discover that the actual process is very different from the graph on the whiteboard. The issue is that usually there is not enough documentation for the process. And even if there is, it's usually either not up to date or it doesn't cover all the exceptions and all the variants. So normally how a company would deal with this is they would hire a team of people. This team would come and look what people are doing. They would hold the workshops, interviews, do over-the-shoulder lookings, and based on the insights collected, they would try to redesign the process and experiment and try to get all the process improvements out into clear recommendations and implement them. Usually this takes a lot of effort. It takes from weeks to months, and even after all this time, you don't have time to cover this very exhaustively. So usually you don't have time to speak with everyone in the team. you only cover part of the team. So that means you can potentially miss out on some of the process steps. Of course, process mining can be very helpful here, but it's also a high effort exercise because you need to set up the models and connect the different systems. It's also not as exhaustive as VPD because process mining only gives you the process information only from the system point of view instead of what the people actually do. So the team thought that there is got to be a better way to do this. Why not automate this? Why not have it fast? Why does it have to take months? Why not do it in a couple of days? Basically, this is what VPD does. VPD allows to effortlessly discover and create a visualization of a process. We cover the process as it occurs on the ground, and we can do it at scale. That means we can cover whole teams and whole departments at once. It's much faster than the standard way. You can get the first view of the process in just a couple of days instead of weeks and months. You also get the fully automatically created process documentation. And we can also run in continuous mode, which means we continuously monitor employees as they execute these processes. And based on that, we collect insights, collect performance information, and we can find bottlenecks and optimize the process. So how we do this? Instead of looking at the system, we try to understand what is happening on the ground. We can do this by looking at the human behavior instead of a system behavior. We try to see what people are doing, and we try to capture that. We can do this at scale, meaning we can capture a lot of people working at the same time. And the processes we cover, they don't have to be executed continuously. That means employee can start the process, then he can go to lunch, he can do something else, he can go on a break, he can finish the process later. We can still basically cover this. He can even start one day, finish another day. That's all fine. We can still get all the insights into the performance, average handling times, and all the possible bottlenecks. All these insights, they give you a great overview of a process. And based on this overview, you can simplify, standardize, or automate part or the whole process. So in order to do this, we use the latest technologies available. First, we use an intelligent recorder that records all the human and process interaction events. The recorder is deployed in the background. It's not like a spyware. The agent needs to start the recorder on its own. He needs to give a consent that he knows is being recorded. And we can do this at scale at many desktops, basically tens or hundreds of desktops all at once. We also allow to blacklist certain applications or sites from being recorded. For example, if clients don't want us to record his messaging applications or the employees' Facebook pages or anything, we can just blacklist it. It's not part of the recording. Nobody is going to see that information. So as the events are recorded, they are continuously uploaded into our platform. In our platform, we analyze these recordings, and we do this by first taking an example process from you, which you have to give us as a customer. You need to classify these events first, and then based on your example, we basically search the whole data set that we have collected and classify it. So these data sets can be huge. So for example, if you record 100 people over 2 weeks, this can produce easily over 5 terabytes of data. And this can also contain around 60 to 70 million events. So after the analysis is done, we have to visualize what we have found. For this, we have our own Accenture process visualization tool, and we also support many other external vendors like Process Gold, Visco, Aries, Celonis, from basically every industry standard tool we support. With the insights collected by VPD, you can easily get all the information about the process that you need. So now I would like to show you a short demo so that you can see what our platform looks like. If I could find my mouse. Okay, here it is. Perfect. So this is an example of a day's execution of 9 processes that were discovered by our tool. For each execution, you can see where the execution started. You can see where it ended. You can also see how many events are part of the system. And you can also see the name or ID of an agent who executed the process. You can also have a detailed look into how the process looks like. And this is basically data right from the agent. And this is all the information about how we actually executed the process. So you can see that he was working with Excel, he was making a chart. You can really see the whole process as it happened. On the left side, there is a bit more technical view of all the events, timestamps, and classification that was done automatically by our algorithms. Also, you can see a process graph. This is basically graph created from the data we collected. You can see which execution passed through which steps. When you can click on the step, this will show you all the executions that passed through it. You can open this, you can review it, you can make sure you can find all the impediments here. When you don't like the process, that something took too long, you can just take a look at the documentation to understand what happened. We also have a live overview of the agents as they are recording. So every agent who is recording can be visible here, and you know who's working, who's recording, who's not. So I would quickly like to talk about how this actually works on the background, about the architecture. We can split the architecture into 2 large modules. The first module is our intelligent recorder. This is actually a desktop application that needs to be installed. It's very quick installation, it's very quickly. Then it just needs to be started by the agent. Everything else is automatic. It just runs on the background. The agent doesn't even know it's running. Of course, he knows, but it doesn't impact his work or his performance or anything. It's very lightweight, and it's also very adjustable based on the hardware that the agent has. Also, we allow to blacklist and whitelist site, as I already mentioned, and it's very secure. Basically, everything that was recorded by the recorder is encrypted and scrambled. These encrypted recordings are then automatically being uploaded into our AWS cloud, where we run what we call pre-processing. Pre-processing means we are enhancing the raw data that we collected. And basically, we do this by using multiple AI technologies. We run OCR on the screenshots. We use Accenture custom-made deep learning models to do basically all the stuff we need. It's mostly coded in .NET and in Python, and everything in the pre-processing is running in Docker. That's mostly because of the scalability, because as I already mentioned, you can have a lot of data coming in every hour, every day, if a lot of people are recording. Then the last part is the analysis. We use complex data mining algorithms to search the whole data set for the process executions. The algorithms are written in .NET, and they also support big data because you want to go through all the data that you have collected, not just a part of it. That's the point. The last step, the visualization, we have our Accenture internal visualization tool, or we use external vendors if you want additional information. And that would be everything from my side. Thanks for the attention, and have a nice day.